Jaya Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Shrunvata Swakata Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Hridayantasto Hiya विधुनोति सुहृत्सदा नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके इंद्रा श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय. Hare Krishna. Today we are discussing from the fourth canto, 22nd chapter, text 20. So let's recite sloka translation and purport. अस्ति एव राजन् भवतो मधुद्विषाः पादारविन्दस्य गुणानुवादने रतिर्दुरापि विदुनोति नैष्टिके कामं कषायं मलमन्तरात्मनः. Synonyms: Asti, there is; Eva, certainly; Rajan, O king; Bhavataha, your; Madhudvishaha, of the Lord; Padara Vindasya, of the lotus feet; Guna Anuvadane, in glorifying; Rati, attachment; Durapa, very difficult; Vidunoti, washes; Naistiki, unflinching; Kamam, lusty; Kashayam, the embellishment of lusty desire; Malam, dirty; Antaratmanaha, from the core of the heart. Translation. Sanat Kumara continued, my dear king, you already have an inclination to glorify the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such attachment is very difficult to achieve, but when one has attained such unflinching faith in the Lord, it automatically cleanses lusty desires from the core of the heart. Purport. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido Bhavanti Hutkarna Rasayana Kata Tachoshanada Svabhavatmani Shraddha Ratir Bhaktirano Kramishyati. Srimad Bhagavatam 3:25-25. By association with devotees, dirty things within the heart of a materialistic man are gradually washed away by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As silver becomes shiny by being polished, the heart of a materialistic person is cleansed of lusty desires by the good association of devotees. Actually, the living being has no connection with the material enjoyment nor with the lusty desires. He is simply imagining or dreaming while asleep. But by the association of pure devotees, he is awakened, and immediately the spirit soul is situated in his own glory by understanding his constitutional position as the eternal servant of the Lord. Prithu Maharaja was already a self-realized soul. Therefore, he had a natural inclination to glorify the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Kumaras assured him that there was no chance of his falling victim to the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. In other words, the process of hearing and chanting about the glories of the Lord is the only means to clarify the heart of material contamination. By the process of karma, jnana, and yoga, no one will succeed in driving away contamination from the heart. But once a person takes to the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord by devotional service, automatically all dirty things in the heart are removed without difficulty. Hare Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवसादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. I once again welcome all of you for this Srimad Bhagavatam session. So today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, 22nd chapter, text 20. So before entering into today's subject matter, so just I want to recap what is happening till now in this chapter. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, um, Maitreya Muni is still continuing to explain the lineage of Swayambhu Manu, Uttanapada, and then Dhruva Maharaj. In the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj, there is a king named Anga. So Anga Maharaj and the daughter of Mrityu begot a son named Veena. So as he was very cruel from the childhood, so Anga Maharaj tried many ways to correct him, but finally he was not able to correct not able to correct the cruel son Veena. Then finally he decided and he went to the forest. He went to the forest and met the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So to secure the citizens and the safety of the citizens and the kingdom, sages made Veena as a king. And because of his cruelty and along with the power, now he's obstructing the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he's saying, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You should worship me. Then all the sages try to convince him and make him understand he's not the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he was so reluctant and he was so arrogant. Then sages finally killed him by chanting the mantras. After that, for the safety of the citizens and the kingdom, so sages turned the body of King Veena, and from the pure portion, Prithu Maharaj and Archimata appeared. And from last 1 month onwards, we are discussing after appearance of the Prithu Maharaj, how he churned the Mother Earth. And because of that, Mother Earth was so happy with the Prithu Maharaj, and she was giving all the necessities required for all the living entities in the sense, including the Devatas, all the living entities, animals, birds, everything for everyone. She's providing all the required necessities, right? Like minerals, jewels, everything she's giving. So Ritu Maharaj finally determined to perform 100 Aswamedha yajnas, and out of it, in that 100th Aswamedha yajna, Indra tried to stole sacrificial horse, and he tried to introduce so many religious methods. Then finally Brahma intervenes and says, okay, my dear Prutu, please stop here, this sacrifice. Otherwise, Indra will introduce so many things. It will be not good for the society further. Then to the respect of Lord Brahma, Prithu Maharaj stops that yajna. But because of the submissive attitude, Lord was so satisfied with Prithu Maharaj, and he appeared in the sacrificial arena of Prithu Maharaj, and he gave wonderful instructions. And also he blesses Prithu Maharaj, saying, if you protect and if you rule the citizens according to the Shastra and the rules and approvals given by the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, definitely all the citizens will love you. And at the same time, you will be able to see the great signs for Kumaras. Then, because Acharyas and Shastra says, more than seeing the Lord face to face is, it's like more fortune thing is having the association of the devotees. Because in the association of devotees, we won't forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead even for a second. So that is the greatest benediction one can get. What is that? Association of pure devotees. So as Lord predicted, so Prutu Maharaj had the darshan of four Kumaras and he got the association. In between, Prutu Maharaj also instructed their citizens about the devotional service and importance of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. So whatever he told, actually put it in implementation. Actually, sometimes we see so many so-called so many great personalities. They speak many things, but coming to their activities, it's like fully different. What they say is different, and what they're following is fully different. But Vaishnava, the pure devotee of the Lord, whatever he says is already doing all those things, and he encourages everyone just by seeing that person. Other person will be able to do all the wonderful activities, right? So, like that, Pruthamaharaj not only encouraged their citizens to worship the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, he himself followed that. So, when he received the four Kumaras, so he with so much respect, he received them and he offered so many things. And finally, he appreciates them in so many ways and he glorifies four Kumaras. Glorifies and finally asks wonderful question. What is the ultimate goal of anyone? Can you please tell us? See, if you say the Prithu Maharaj already gave all the instructions about the ultimate goal to his citizens, but whenever he got the association of the four Kumaras, he was asking this question, right? So we'll try to understand why he was asking, right? So Prithu Maharaj asked them, what is the ultimate goal one can attain in this material world? What is the ultimate goal of any living entity? So he asked that, and finally he glorifies Kumara, saying, Lord travels in the form of self-realized persons like pure devotees like you, my dear four Kumaras. Please enlighten me on this. Then four Kumaras was so happy with the Prutu Maharaj's speech. See, sometimes the words we speak, it should be very pleasant to other person, especially if you're associating with the Vaishnavas and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we should glorify them sufficiently. We should glorify them. Then we should inquire them, right? Straight away, we shouldn't go like, okay, I want this. No, it is not the way. So if you if you associate or if you go and meet any pure devotee or the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the entire Shastra and Srimad Bhagavatam, we see this wonderfully. First, they will glorify. First, they will glorify. Then they will put their question or request or advice, anything, right? So, like that only here, poor Kumaras was very happy with the Prutu Maharaj, whatever Prutu Maharaj said, right? And also they were smiling with the, so much satisfaction. And finally, they appreciate Prutu Maharaj. They say, Prutu Maharaj, you already know everything, but still you are asking all these questions because whatever you asked, all these questions and answers related to these questions are the subject matter that is very, very required for the common people. It will uplift each and every living entity to the pure consciousness. So even though you know everything, again you ask, does this is a symptom of a sadhu, right? So whatever Kumaras are saying is exactly correct because Puthu Maharaj already know what is the ultimate goal. That's why he was able to instruct in the fourth canto, 21st chapter, instructions by Puthu Maharaj. What are the instructions? Wonderful instructions he gives actually to the citizens. What he mentions exactly in 31, 32, 33 slok, 33 texts actually, Puthu Maharaj says the ultimate goal of any living entity is to worship and render devotional service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one does this pure devotional service, he will not be able to further, he won't get attracted to the material things. And also he says, whatever it is, you just surrender to the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, then all your desires get fulfilled. So he already instructed all those things to his citizens. So that's why Kumara sir saying, you already know everything. Whatever you are asking us, you already know. But still, oh Prithu Maharaja, how you want to associate with us? How much you desire to associate with people like us? Even the four Kumaras, we are also eagerly waiting to associate with you, like Prithu Maharaj, because you are also a wonderful Parama Bhagavata. See here, it's a wonderful combination. The Kumaras and Prithu Maharaj both are Shakti Avesh avatars and more are like Parama Bhagavatas, pure devotees of the Lord. So if these two meet, what happens? This is what it is happening in Srimad Bhagavatam right now. In Srimad Bhagavatam, this kind of combination we see from starting to ending, right? Um, Sukadeva Goswami, Parishin Maharaj, Maitreya, Vidura, Saunakadi Rishis and Suta Goswami, Lord Brahma and Narada Muni, right? Prachetas and Narada Muni. It's like so many, everywhere you see this combination. The pure devotees always want to glorify the Lord, right? That's why here Sanat Kumara says in the last sloka, in 19th sloka, Kumaras are saying, what are the questions we asked? No, so the answers for those questions and all these are like very subject matter to discuss, and also whoever is speaking or whoever is hearing, both the speaker and the listener both derive great happiness. Both derive great happiness. Acharya says why Prithu Maharaj is asking, even though he knows all the answers, why he is asking. The idea is that whenever the two persons meet, so much common crowd will gather, and they will also try to hear why these two great personalities are what these two great personalities are talking. So they also want to hear, and people like us will hear in the future, right? So that's why the pure devotees, whenever they meet a senior or superior or pure devotees, they will utilize their association and they will ask questions related to the ultimate goal of the life, absolute truth, right? So that way, it will benefit, their discussion will benefit both the speaker and the listener and those who are asking questions, as well as for the common people. That's why Pruta Maharaj is putting wonderful questions. What is the ultimate goal of life? So now, in the today's sloka, text 20, Kumaras are saying already you have what is required for what is the ultimate goal of any living entity is like inclination to glorify the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Oh, my dear Prutu Maharaj, you already had that inclination. You already had an attachment to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is, one should attain in this life. You already had that inclination. So, that is a subject matter. So, today's sloka, just I want to read the translation of today's sloka once again. Sanat Kumara continued, my dear king, you already have an inclination to glorify the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such attachment is very difficult to achieve, but one has attained such unflinching faith in the Lord, it automatically cleanses lusty desires from the core of the heart. Right? So this sloka mainly deals with the importance of glorification of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because the glories of the hearing and glorifying the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only remedy for the living entity to get rid of all the contamination in his heart, right? So this is the only remedy, this is the only medicine provided by Supreme Personality of Godhead to the conditional living entities. So we know the living genetic constitutional position is what? Jivera Swarupahoy Krishnera Nityadas. So the living entities are parts and parts of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their, their duty is to serve and surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is their healthy condition. The healthy condition of the living entity is to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and be happy in the association of Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees. But when the living entity misuses his little independence, what he does, he gets some kind of vikaras in his mind. What are the vikaras? The envy towards the Lord. Why I should serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead always? Why can't I also should enjoy, right? So one is envy. Why only always Supreme Personality of Godhead should be served? And second one is even I also want to enjoy. Even I want to enjoy. So this envy and enjoyment mentality makes the living entity diseased. So in the diseased state, all this vikaras comes out in the form of lust, anger, and hankering for the material things. In so many ways, it comes out in the form of sense gratification. So the living entity want to enjoy separately from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he will just think all these things are for my enjoyment only. This is a very diseased condition. See, just like if we get a fever, what we take? Okay, I got a fever. Okay, let it be. Like this only, if we leave, what happens? We will end up dying actually, right? So we have to take the medicine. So doctor prescribes antibiotic so that slowly our fever gets subsided and will come to the normal and healthy state, and we will be able to do all our activities happily. Right? Like that only, the living entity is in diseased condition now. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, you are diseased. Now you cannot stay in the spiritual world. Okay, I'll keep you in the material world. And I created for all this condition living entities, those who are rebel towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he kept them everyone in material world. He said, okay, you suffer here forever and forever. He didn't say like that because he was so merciful father, and he prescribed the medicine also, that Bhava Ushadi. What is that Bhava Ushadi? Medicine for this Bhava Roga. What is that Bhava Roga? The continuous cycle of birth and death, samsara. So to get rid of this, he gave one wonderful medicine. What is that? Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha. It's like chanting his names, his qualities, and his activities, right? So many fast times. So just by hearing them, just by glorifying them, one will be come out of this diseased condition, and again one will be situated in healthy state. That time he will be able to understand what is his position, what is his Swarupa Sthiti, constitutional position, and he will be able to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead very happily, and he will derive great happiness. So that is the medicine. Huh? That is the medicine is what? Hearing and glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now we have the Shastras. Now we have Shastras, and we have so many fast times, and we have so much information about Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maybe now we are not able to have the taste, right? So whether we had the taste or not, we have to hear and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prabhupada always says the jaundice patient, uh, for the jaundice patient, the treatment is sugarcane juice. That time he says, if we give sugarcane juice, what he says? No, it is very bitter. But doctor says, this is your medicine. Whether you like it or not, this is your medicine. So slowly he takes sugarcane juice over a period of time. He gets cured from jaundice. Then he says, okay, this sugarcane juice is very sweet. Give me one more glass. Like that only, in the conditional state, if you go and tell somebody about the Krishna Katha, please hear and glorify, they say, no, it's not so tasty, it is not interesting to me. But the medicine for them is Krishna Katha only. Whether they like it or not, they have to hear and glorify. Hear and glorify. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, the last in 19th chapter, Parishit Maharaj enquires, especially the person who is about to die, what to hear, what to glorify, and what to remember. Please enlighten me on this, oh my dear Sukadeva Goswami. Then Sukadeva Goswami wonderfully explains that what should be done by any person, right? तस्माद् भारत सर्वात्मा भगवान् ईश्वरो हरिः श्रोतव्या कीर्तव्याश्च स्मर्तव्याश्च तव्यम्. So what he says, the person who want to get rid of all these miseries in the material existence had to hear, glorify, and remember that Ishva Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari, about the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari. They had to hear, glorify, and remember. See, in the material world, if you see, all the activities are more or less connected to hearing something and glorifying something. If you see an entire newspaper or TV or so many advertisements, what they are saying, there's so many things they are advertising and glorifying something like, okay, if you use this shampoo and your hair will grow like anything, and in your face this much is there, that is there, and your teeth will be like shining. So it's like for each and every product, there's so much advertisement, so much glorification. Sometimes it is like truly glorifying and sometimes falsely glorifying. If we see the entire newspaper, suppose one new candidate is in elections, or some new candidate is coming in the next elections, what they will do, they'll start glorifying, and they start putting that person in the headlines in the entire newspapers, because the people will read here, and finally they will get attached to that person. Sometimes they will have, sometimes those people will be having wonderful qualities, is truly glorifying, sometimes they falsely glorify. So within a no time, very insignificant person will become a very famous personality, night and night, a celebrity, athletes, whatever it is. any politician. So, because of this glorification, what is happening? Maybe other person may get some temporary benefits, but on the long run, if you see in the living entity, if you see eternally conditioned living entity, for him, there is no use. It's full of time waste. There is no use. It's full of just time waste. So that's why Shastra says the real object of glorification is Janma Dyasya Yatha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So how we can glorify person without knowing, right? So if you want to glorify some person, you should hear him first. First, you should hear about him. Then only you can glorify. Otherwise, how we can glorify? So first we have to hear. That's why Sravana, Kirtana, Smarana. First we have to hear about him. First we have to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then only we can glorify. If you don't know anything about that personality, and if you want to glorify, what you can glorify? You cannot glorify anything because you don't know anything about that personality. So first you have to hear. First you have to hear attentively. Then only you can glorify. If you won't hear attentively, you cannot glorify. Cannot glorify. So first thing is we should hear attentively. Then only we can glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So after hearing, one will be able to understand, oh, he is not a person like me, or not a, some kind of person, a great personality in the material world. He is a very Supreme Personality of Godhead, Satchidananda Vigraha and Eko Bahunam Vidadati Kaman. So he's the one person, he is fulfilling all the desires of each and every living entity. And he is Avyaya, Akshara, and he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parama Ishvara. So after knowing all these details, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartatiti Matva Bhadante Ma Buddha Bhava Samanvitaha Bhagavad Gita 10.8 Lord says, because whoever understand I am the cause for this material and spiritual words, then they will be able to then they will be able to surrender and develop pure devotional service towards me. Right? So when you know that person, you can love that person and you can glorify with so many modes, right? Like we can glorify. So first we should hear about him and then glorify. So here Kumara sir saying Prithu Maharaj had a natural inclination to glorify. So he already had that natural inculcation. That also he is saying it's very difficult. Oh, Prithu Maharaj, it is not easy to develop that thing. It's very difficult. He is mentioned in the sloka Durapa. Durapa. It's very difficult. It's not easy to get a position. You attain a position and you will get interest and taste in glorifying the Lord day and night. It's very difficult, but Prithu Maharaj already had that. Okay, Prithu Maharaj is already having that. But people like us, how we can develop? Hmm? How we can develop that taste to glorify and hear the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is possible only by the mercy of pure devotees. That is only possible by the mercy of pure devotees. So when you hear from the pure devotees, then you will relish the Krishna Katha. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 25th chapter, 25th sloka, it is saying, Satam prasangan mama virya samvido भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायन कथा तच्चोषणादस्वपवर्गवत्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्ति अनुक्रमिष्यति. Whenever you hear the activities and pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the lips of the pure devotees, what happens? You will relish and your heart and your mind and the soul itself will be satisfied and derive great happiness. See, Prabhupada says, without the association of devotees and we want to develop devotional service or increase the attachment to the Supreme Personality of God, it is like a hallucination. Some people will say, why to associate with the devotees? I will study myself. I have my books and I can hear independently and I can progress in my spiritual life and I can attach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why to associate with devotees? They say like that. So Srila Prabhupada always gives this wonderful example. It is like if you want to read it by yourself, or if you want to read it, just understand the personal activities of Supreme Personality of Godhead just by your understanding, and you want to speculate something, it is like you are licking the honey bottle from outside. Somebody said, honey is so sweet. Honey is so sweet. So you want to taste the honey, and you brought the bottle, and you are licking the bottle, just licking the bottle from outside. So how much time you lick the bottle of the honey? Will you be able to taste the honey? No. After sometimes you say, see, these people are saying all lies only because it is not tasty. But these people are saying, oh, it is so sweet, so sweet. But I cannot taste any sweetness. So Srila Prabhupada says, if you want to taste the honey, you have to open the bottle and you have to take something from the spoon and keep it in your hand and taste it. Then only you will be able to taste the honey. Then you will say, yes, the honey is really sweet and really tasty. So the pure devotees, they have the capability to open the nectar of the Krishna Katha, and they will keep the Krishna Katha, the nectar in our hand, then we will be able to taste that. Otherwise, even though you have so many books and commentaries of so many acharyas, you study everything, and end of the day, you won't feel anything, and you won't be able to increase attachment towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead because we are licking the bottle from outside, right? It's very difficult. That's why even in the course of Bhakti Sastra or Bhakti Vaibhav, while reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, in the association of devotees and while explaining by the realized persons, so it is more relatable, it is more connecting, and we will be able to implement what they are saying. Actually, they are two Krishna Kathas, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So these two Krishna Kathas should be heard by sitting under the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his devotees. Then only we will be able to relish. Otherwise, we won't be able to fully relish the taste of the Krishna Katha, right? We won't be able to relish the taste, right? So, actually, there are two Bhagavatas, book Bhagavata, person Bhagavata. Both will benefit the living entity, but the person Bhagavata is already living the life of all the principles mentioned in the book Bhagavata. That's why we have to surrender to the person Bhagavata and listen from the person Bhagavata. Then definitely all our anarthas, what are the contaminations in our heart, will get cleared as early as possible. It's very fast cleaning process. Hearing from the pure devotee, from the lips of pure devotee. Then all this, what is happening, there's so much satisfaction to the ear and the heart, and as well as all the contamination in the heart will get erased. That's why, so here it is because why these pure devotees are exclusively discuss about the Krishna Katha, right? In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned, Machitta Madgata Prana Udayancha Parasparam Kadayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. What they will do? Always they discuss about the glories of the Lord. They hear from one another, and they will always try to discuss about the Krishna Katha, and they will derive great happiness and satisfaction. Machitta Madgata Prana. Like two business personalities meet together, what they will do? They will discuss how to get profit more and more and how to establish no other branches in different cities. Right? Like that, only few devotees meet. What they will discuss? Just they discuss about Krishna Katha. They discuss about Krishna Katha. It was so pure, it attracts the Lord also. Once Lord says to Narada Muni, he says, Naham tistami vaikunte yoginam hrudayesu va tatra tistami etra gayanti mat bhakta tatra tistami Narada. So he says, I won't stay in Vaikuntha or in the hearts of yogis, but wherever my devotees glorify and chant my activities, I will be personally present there. I will be personally present, sir. That's why Prabhupada says associating with the devotees means association with the Lord Himself. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always behind the pure devotees. Because suppose if somebody is calling your name and saying something to the other person, right? Here I can say, mm, So many people. Chandrabhaga Vrajesha Das Prabhuji. So if I say Chandrabhaga Vrajesha Das Prabhuji is like this, and I start something and I some gossiping to other person. So naturally, Prabhu want to hear what I am saying about himself, what I am saying about himself to other person, right? Like that only pure devotees always discussing about Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme Personality of Godhead is also so eager. What they are discussing about me? What they are discussing? Why they are so much eager to always discuss about me? Right? If you see, our Lord Jagannath is already a product of Krishna Katha. Recently, I heard from one Maharaj. Maharaj is saying, so suppose we say, okay, this I am product of Bhakti Vrusha, so and so Bhakti Vrusha, or otherwise I'm product of Bhakta Prahlad school, I'm product of Gita Jnana, I'm product of this temple, our temple, like that we will introduce, right? So like that only our Jagannath is a product of Krishna Katha. Why? Because when Mother Rohini was glorifying the activities, childhood pastimes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so just by hearing them, they got some greater happiness, greater happiness. They came in the form of Mahabhava Prakasha. And finally, the Krishna Balram became Jagannath and Balram Subhadramai with big eyes. And because of they got so much happiness just by hearing those glories of himself. Right? That is the effect of Krishna Katha. It attracts the Lord itself, right? And also, not only the Lord, right? If you see, so in the Srirangam, if you go there, that time actually one Vaishnava, one Sri Vaishnava, his name is Nampillai. So he used to give discourses on the Supreme Personality of Godhead very nicely, very nicely. So it is like whenever Nampillai is giving pravachan, there is so much crowd. Entire temple is filled with devotees, just want to hear his discourses. So it is like, and that also, if you see in the Srirangam, Nam Perumal, the Utsavamurti of Ranganath, he comes out. He comes out and he moves throughout that place. That time also so much crowd. That they will call as Purappadu. Purappadu means he comes out and he gives darshan to everybody. Sometimes he comes with Ranganayaki and sometimes he alone comes, but that is Purappadu. So whenever the Nam Perumal comes, and to give darshan to the all devotees, that time also there is going to be so much crowd. So it is like people used to ask, Nam Perumal goes to here, Nam Pillai goes to here. It is like Nam Pillai is giving lecture or Nam Perumal came outside to give darshan. It is like that. That much his discourses people likes a lot. So one day it so happened that Nam Pillai is giving pravachan in the temple hall, so that time it was so much crowd. There is one Sri Vaishnava, Tiruvala, uh, Tiruvilakku Pichan. His duty is to take, that time there are no lights, right? There's lamps and all they had to lit and they have to take care in the entire temple. That service he was there. So he was doing and he was rushing actually because he also want to hear the discourse of Nampillai. So he was able to complete his seva and finally he came there. That time actually the pujari who is taking care of the Periya Perumal. Periya Perumal is like who is lying down on the Ananta Sesha, Ranganatha. So that person he says, okay, my dear Vaishnava, can you please stay here sometime? I will just go and hear Nampillai discourse for some time and I'll come because till now I'm here and doing all this worship for this Periya Perumal. This person can't say no. That is okay. I will stand here and I will take care of Periya Perumal Ji, and you go and just come back fast. Even because even I want to go and hear. So sometimes we will stand like this, we'll keep the hand in the wall and we'll hear, right? Like that only. This Tiruvalaki Pichana also hearing like that. So that time one person is in the backside came and says, okay, please give me some space. I will go and sit down near Nampillai and hear. This person is saying, why you are disturbing me? Finally, after so much rush, now I am able to hear his discourses. Don't disturb. Otherwise, just see, there's so much crowd. There are 20, 30 lines. Everyone is so filled. You cannot go and sit anywhere. There is no single space also. That's why I'm standing here and hearing. You also stand there and hear. Don't disturb me. And again, that person is keep on disturbing. Then this Sri Vaishnava turned back and saw who is he? Actually, he's the Periya Perumal himself. That Chamurti just got up from the Ananta Sesha bed And he was so eager to hear from the Nampillai discourses. He's saying, see, I am Periya Perumal, the Chamurti. I just want to hear Nampillai discourses. He was giving so sweetly. He was describing my fast times very sweetly. I cannot sleep here. And Ananta Sesha, I just want to go and sit near him and I want to hear. Then this Tiruvalaki picture forcibly takes Periya Perumal and makes him sit on Ananta Sesha, and he says, just lay down here. You are Archavatara, you are not like Rama or Krishna, so that you can move freely. That also these discourses are for us, people like me, because we can understand yourself and we can surrender to you properly. Why you want to hear? There's so much crowd already. Please don't disturb Periya Perumalji. Please, you sleep here and Ananta says peacefully, just make me hear. And I just want to hear about you so that I can serve you properly. So see here, Acha Murti itself coming up and I want to hear. That is a sweetness in Krishna Katha. That is a sweetness in Krishna Katha, right? So the Lord Himself comes. The Lord Himself, the product of Krishna Katha. So this Krishna Katha, what happens if a living entity like us, conditional living entity like us, hears? What happens? The result is it is a Srunvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hrudayantastohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Suhrusata. What happens? When you hear the Krishna Katha from the pure devotee, what happens? It cleanses all the material dirt, right? And also it develops a pure devotional service attitude towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the sloka also it is mentioned, Vidunoti. If you hear and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vidunoti, it washes, it cleanses what? Kamam Kashayam Malamantaratmanaha. Kamam Kashayam Malamantaratmanaha. These lusty desires and so many dirty things, and we want to enjoy separately from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's like we want to become an enjoyer and we want to control, and we feel we are the best well wisher for anyone. So these are all are like anarthas. All this get removed from our heart if you hear and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this way, there is no doubt in it, right? That's why Srila Prabhupada very mercifully gave us the system. Daily Srimad Bhagavatam, morning or evening, either Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, right? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. That's why Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastaki. So daily we should hear the Srimad Bhagavatam from the bona fide person, and not only hearing, we should hear in the such a way that we want to implement those things and get purified from inside, right? Not only, okay, when you become a devotee, externally we put tilak, kanti, and we decorate like a pure Vaishnava, but unless we get cleared all our anarthas from inside, will not be in a position to say, I am a Vaishnava, right? So, if you want to call it yourself as a Vaishnava, we have to get rid of all this anarthas, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, especially envy towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His devotees, and this enjoying mentality. So, all these things only possible by hearing and glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It will not happen by any other process like fruitive activities or like gaining some kind of knowledge, like what jnanis will do by mental speculation, or some austerities will do by Ashtanga yogis, right? It just happens only by hearing and glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and also by engaging our body, mind, and senses in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, okay, now we saw how Lord is getting attracted towards Krishna Katha, and Lord himself was so happy and he's deriving so much happiness, right? So there is one devotee called a name like Angad. He's a devotee of Lord Jagannath. It's not Angad from Ramayana, but it's a devotee named Angad. And actually, he was commander in chief in one kingdom. He works under a king, and they are so related actually. And this person is not having any interest to hear Krishna Katha, serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But it so happened by his fortune, he got married to a Vaishnavi. She was like always want to hear and glorify the Lord. So, but she was so beautiful, and this Angas was so attracted by her beauty and says, "Okay, I will give permission. You can go and hear, but don't call me. I cannot hear anything. You go and hear. Okay, I will not obstruct you." So he gave permission. She goes to all the discourses, and she comes back. One day she thought, okay, I will put satsang in my home also. Maybe because of that Sukruti, my husband also will serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My husband also want to hear and glorify the Lord. So maybe that happens because the mercy of the devotees is so nice, and their dust falls in our home. It is so auspicious for both of us. Then she thought like that without informing her husband. She just planned one satsang because that time he went to some other place, some kind of activity. So because king assigned some tasks, so we went to some other place. Anyway, he's not in a home, so that's why today I will do satsang in my home. She thought like that, and she invited all the Vaishnavas and her spiritual master, everyone there, and they are nicely discussing. So that time Angada suddenly his work completes very fast. So he came back to home, and he saw so many Vaishnavas, and the spiritual master is giving the discourse, and he gets so angry. I gave you permission to go and hear. I didn't give permission to invite everyone to our house and do all these programs like this. I didn't give any permission. So out of anger, he shouts at her spiritual master and all the devotees, please leave right now. Who gave permission to come and sit in my home and do all your activities? Then Angad's wife tried to calm down so many ways, but he won't listen to her. You made a mistake that you cannot say anything to me. Then finally, all the devotees will they are understood and like, okay, okay, I will go, ma. You don't worry. We will go. Don't worry. You just take care of your husband. So after that, she was so angry, and she told Angad. She says to Angad like, okay, you did all this and you made great offense to our spirit, to my spiritual master and all the Vaishnavas. That's why maybe you are my husband. I will do all the activities, but I will not show my face to you forever. I will just put gunguta, like I will cover my face, and I'll never show my face to you. So this is the punishment I am giving to you and myself. So Angas was very dissatisfied and very distressed, and he tried to convince her so many ways. But she says, no, this is a punishment I'm giving to you and myself also, because I married person like you. That's why I'm taking punishment like this. And because you made offense towards all these people, that is a punishment to you. You cannot see my face forever. So he was like crying, crying, and crying. And one day he was just going by, and there is the same her spiritual master is giving pravachan in one village, and he thought, okay, because of this Krishna katha of my family is like so disaster now. So I will go and see what is there in Krishna katha. Why my wife is so interested to hear, so interested to hear. I will just go and hear. So Angad starts listening, listening, and slowly his so much distress and dissatisfaction is going slowly, and he's getting so much happiness, inner happiness. So because that is a saptaha, so daily is going and is coming back. So it is like 1 week over. He was so happy, and his wife is saying, "Why nowadays he is so happy? Before he used to cry, and he was so distressed because I'm not showing my face. Nowadays, he was so happy. Maybe okay. Maybe what is happened outside, I don't know." She was thinking like that. So that time, after 7 days, again he went to that place. He asked why Guru Maharaj is not giving any discourses today. Then he says, no, no, here Sapta, it is over. And he went to nearby village. There it will start. Angad go there, and again he starts listening to that discourses and all. One day, it so happened, so Angad was so happy and so much involved in hearing Krishna Katha, and he was not able to stop himself. He just gets up and dances. And in the same place, Angad's wife also went to hear the discourse. So then she observed, who is this personality and why he's so happy and dancing? Maybe my husband also will become like this. I will be the happiest person in this world. Then finally she sees who is that personality. Then finally she understands, oh, he is my husband only. My husband, oh, that's why nowadays he is so happy. Huh? Because he is attending the Krishna Katha. That's why he was so happy, even though I am not showing my face. So that time silently she goes to her home. Finally, Angad comes back. So that time she removes her gungat. She won't cover her face. Angad says, my dear wife, I came home. I came home, so you just cover yourself. She says, no need. Then Angad says, no, 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 please, you cover yourself. Angad's wife says, do you really don't want to see me? Then Angad says, once upon a time, it's a long back, I used to feel very bad if I won't see your face. Now really, I'm not that attached. I'm that not interested to see your face anymore. I'm just want to see the Lord Jagannath once. Because Guru is glorifying Lord Jagannath glories like anything. I just got a desire to see the Puri Jagannath once. I want to go to the Puri and see the Jagannath. And I am not at all literally want to see your face now. Then Anga's wife says, this is what I'm saying from so many days. This is the taste in Krishna Katha. I'm so happy. Now you develop the taste and you are able to nourish it and you're able to enjoy it and you're able to feel the Krishna in Krishna Katha. I'm so happy I saw you happily dancing in Krishna Katha. So then she says, okay, we'll go to Puri. So that's when after that some story will be there. But this is what happens, right? So Srimad Bhagavatam says any person enters the Krishna Katha even with so much heavy heart, all those distresses will come down, at least for the time being. Slowly, if they attach to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all these distresses, even though pouring like a rain towards him, but he won't get disturbed by those things and he will be happily situated in his position and he will become a Jivan Mukta and end of this life he will go back to the spiritual personality of Godhead. So in this, there is no doubt. So many people will say, we don't have time. Why to waste hearing those stories? Already it is happened in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga. Huh? That's what Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ayur Harati Vaipumsam, Udyanastam Chayanasau, Tashyarde Yakshano Nita, Uttama Sloka Vartaye. This is the best utilization of any living entity is to hear and glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are not utilizing their time like this, they are just by every sunrise and sunset they are literally wasting their human form of life. That's why I just want to conclude by saying that we should make a habit of daily hearing and glorifying the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita and also engage others also in hearing and glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead because that is the ultimate goal. Just by hearing and glorifying, we will be able to develop greater attachment to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without any separate effort, we will be able to detach from our other material things or material desires. So in this way, we'll be able to live a successful life in this body, and at the end of the life, we'll go back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There, we no need to come back again. So I just want to conclude here. So any doubts or questions or comments, welcome. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandapranam. Mataji, thank you. Very nice class. I mean, looks like you have tasted the honey. We are still licking the bottle, so
No
very, very
problem.
nice,
I
Mataji.
was. Yes, Prabhu.
It was really nice, Mataji. So very
Thank you,
nice.
Mataji. Yeah. Thank you
Just
very
one.
much. Dandavat pranam. Stories were very nice.
Okay, yes.
Stories are very good. Thank you very much. Dandavat pranam. Hare
Then with
Krishna.
Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
No, Mataji, the question
Mhm.
that I had was, see, we
Mhm.
keep hearing about the sweetness in hearing Bhagavatam. We try
Mhm.
to hear. It's been a
Mhm.
lot of years now.
Mhm.
Still, that taste sometimes comes that it's very nice. Sometimes we don't have the taste to hear every day.
Mhm.
How do you manage? What are some practical tips that we should do so that we can continue to hear every day?
Continue to hear every day. So problem is sometimes we will think some favorable, like favorite teachers or favorite pravachanakar. It's like, okay, if this person is giving lecture, I will hear. This person is giving, I won't hear. The sweetness is the sweetness of the Krishna Katha is not by one person is giving some kind of examples or sometimes some kind of fasting. It's not like that. Because suppose if you are really want to hear Krishna Katha and you give 100% attentively hear the Krishna Katha, that day whoever is giving or what topic it is, whether it's philosophical or it is like a devotional service or whatever it is, it will be really pleasing to us. So it is like we shouldn't go by favoritism while hearing, and also we should make a habit nityam bhagavata sevaya. So if you ask me, Prabhu, how I was able to, because even before I was just reading myself and I won't having that much taste. So, but when my Prabhu actually registered for Bhakti Sastri, that time His Grace Mahananda Prabhu is giving Bhagavad Gita lecture. So he was very nicely describing the glories of Bhagavad Gita. So that time I didn't feel like taking any Bhakti Sastri course. I just want to read myself. Then after hearing Mahanand Prabhu, I couldn't stop myself registering Bhakti Sastri. Then I understood the taste within the association of devotees. Mahanand Prabhu, with so much realizations he is giving, and they are wonderful devotees during that course, and they are also sharing wonderful realizations while discussing the topics. So I really fall in love with Bhagavad Gita at that time. So then, because of that, I thought, okay, if I read alone, it won't give me that happiness. And also I'll not be able to realize how I'm able to uh, rea- uh, I'm not able to realize the real taste of Krishna Katha individually. And also, then even in Bhakti Vaibhav, under the direction of Raja Krishna Prabhu, he's actually into the field and he's having so many years of experience in preaching and dealing with wonderful Vaishnavas and how to implement all these things. So while hearing these discourses also, I realized many points. So if we individually hear and we won't be able to get what or practical tips to follow all these principles in our life, but in association of realized persons and the pure devotees, we will be able to say what to follow in our life and the taste. Just as I said, the jaundice patient, whether you feel taking sugarcane juice or not, that person, if you want to get rid of jaundice, we have to take. Like that only. In my case, me and my Prabhu thought daily, we thought of taking Bhagavatam sessions. So daily, from last 3 years, daily every day night, 8 to 9, we are taking sessions in Srimad Bhagavatam in Telugu. They are like starting 20, 30 devotees now, 40 to 50 members are attending. So it is like now we are able to relish every day Srimad Bhagavatam. So morning we are hearing from so many great people and very experienced people in Seshadripuram, Mariskan, Gurugram. We hear those lectures, and the evening we are discussing with the devotees. So it's not only hearing. We should when we glorify, really that time the taste develops. Actually, the secret to get the taste for Krishna Katha is start preaching. So, as I mentioned, if we want to glorify, what we have to do? We should hear. Unless we hear and we read, we won't be able to glorify. Right? So, definitely, just anyway, you have to give the lecture, anyway, you have to give the discourse. So, definitely, you have to do the homework. You have to hear and you have to read. Then only you can talk something. His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu, during our Gita Jnan courses, he mentioned if you want to give Srimad Bhagavatam session, you have to do homework for 6 hours. 6 hours of hearing and reading. Then you will be able to glorify Supreme Personality of Godhead nicely for 1 or 2 hours. So, so to glorify the Lord, we have to read and we have to hear. So if we want to take more engagements in preaching, then definitely we will be able to release Krishna Katha every day, Prabhu. So
Thank you so much.
otherwise we won't do it unless we won't do it, right?
Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes, I'll agree that if you want to hear nicely, then once we start preaching, there is no choice.
No
You
choice,
have
we
to
have to
hear.
hear.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. That was very nice.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Any other doubts or comments, devotees?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Nanda Pranam.
Danvat Pranam, Prabhu.
Thanks for a very wonderful class, Mataji. Mataji, like I have a question like we were with Krishna, we wanted to enjoy separately, so we are put in this material world. So my question is like, yes, like we being the children's part and parcel of Krishna, we wanted to enjoy, but what is that enjoyment Like, I just want to know, like, wanted to enjoy separately. What is that enjoyment we wanted to enjoy separately? So we are put into such a miserable conditions here in the material world. Mataji.
Okay, bro. So enjoyment. So it is like enjoyment in the sense it is like we want to enjoy ourselves through our senses. Like suppose there is an ice cream, or suppose you prepare something. So that is to it should be satisfy the sense of the Supreme Personality of God. Rushikesha, Rushikena, Sevanam. Rushika in senses. Senses are meant to satisfy their owner, Rushikesha, the master of senses. But instead, the conditional living entity want to enjoy the senses for himself, right? Just like by touching something, by hearing something, by seeing something, by eating something, by saying something, right? So all this center around I and mine. I and mine is the sense gratification. If you put center in Krishna, whatever you do, any activities, that is prema. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami says, if you're trying to satisfy your senses for yourself, that is kama. If you're trying to engage your senses in the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is prema. Because anyway, we have to engage the senses, but the better engagement is to engage in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, as I said, the living entity had to serve. Had to serve. It is like the dharma of sugar is to waste. Like the dharma of a living entity is to serve. Whether to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the Supreme Personality of Godhead energy. It is like Bhautika Shakti. Whether you engage in Krishna, your senses, otherwise you engage yourself, you engage the senses in your body or your related things. It's like, suppose if you are not engaging your senses in the Krishna, what you will do? You will try to enjoy yourself. For your satisfaction, you will try to do your activities, or you will try to satisfy those who are related to your body, like my family, my relatives. Just I want to try to satisfy them. It is like we have only one thing. Definitely we have to serve, either directly serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead or indirectly serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even though you are serving your body or your relatives or any other living entities, it is also indirectly you are serving Krishna. But if you directly serve Krishna, you will come out of this samsara. But if you indirectly serve in the sense your body and other living entities, are if you relate everything to the body and you use like that and you serve indirectly, that is also serving Supreme Personality of Godhead only, but it is indirect way. If you do indirectly serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what it means, it is like you are putting in this samsara, continuous birth and death. So serving is compulsory. You have to do any activity. So why to indirectly serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead and just engage in the samsara? Just directly serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead and go back. So this enjoyment is I want to enjoy separately from Krishna. So His Grace Harilila Prabhu once nicely mentioned in our Bhakti Vaibhav session, we have three tendencies, the living entity, right? So enjoyment mentality, controlship mentality, and well-wishership mentality. So those who are mainly affected by tamoguna, they will think all these are for my enjoyment. Why I have to prepare something and offer to Krishna? Why can't I enjoy myself? Why I can't enjoy all these places, all these flowers for me? Why I should offer to the Krishna? Right? That is like samoguna. Person thinks I am an enjoyer, not Krishna. I am also enjoyer. I am only the enjoyer. Rakshasa and demonic mentality people think I am the enjoyer. I am the more powerful person. And the Rajoguna person thinks I am the controller, the controllership mentality. I have to control. I'm able to control this much. I have to control that also. I will be able to control everything. This is Rajoguna. And Sattva Guna, those people, Sattva Guna will think what? Well-wisher. Oh, I am the well-wisher of all these people. I am taking care of all these people. If I am not there, I don't know what will happen to them. I don't know how they will survive, right? So actually, Acharya says and Shastra says, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhoktaram, Yajna Tapasam, Sarvalokam, he is a real enjoyer. And Ishvara, Parama, Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, he is the real controller. If you want to control something, you have to own it. So Supreme Personality of Godhead is the owner, so he is the real controller and well-wisher. Suhruda, he is a well-wish, he is a real well-wisher, right? So even if we say, I am the well-wisher of so-and-so, but we cannot follow that person after leaving that body. But Supreme Personality of Godhead is Paramatma. He will follow wherever we go, even because of our bad activities. If we take the form of a pig, or even if we take birth as a Indra Gopa, that time also Krishna follows as a Paramatma. That's why he is the best well-wisher. So, whenever the living entity thinks he is the enjoyer, he is the controller, and he is the well-wisher, so that time he is really diseased condition. That time we can say he is enjoying the senses and all the resources for himself, and he is fully, totally into the sense gratification. So this is a diseased condition, Prabhu. So whenever we hear about Krishna, oh, he is the real enjoyer. I am not the enjoyer. Oh, he is the real controller. Suppose I want anything in some bank like HDFC or something. I want anything. I don't have any account also. But outside bank, I say, okay, this bank belongs to me. All this money present in the bank belongs to me. So saying that is very foolish thing, right? And also Jnani says, okay, I reject this. To reject something also, you have to own that, right? So if I stand in front of HDFC Bank and says, I reject this HDFC Bank, HDFC Bank people will laugh at me because I don't have account also, I don't put any money in there. If I reject her, what happens? Nothing, right? So because we are not owning anything here, we are not the controller, and we don't need to reject anything also. And also we are not the real well-wisher. Krishna is the real well-wisher. So then if we understand all these three things properly, then we fear to engage our senses for our own satisfaction. Then definitely after knowing all this, definitely we will engage our body, mind and senses in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is prema. That is prema. So all our sadhana is to convert this kama, sense gratification mentality to love of Godhead, prema. So this is our sadhana, Prabhu. That's why, because we don't know, because we disease sometimes, even we don't know we are diseased. Some healthy person should come and touch our hand and says, oh, your hand is so hot, you got fever, right? Like that, only our acharyas and comes and says, oh, you are fully conditioned. You are thinking you are the enjoyer, you are the controller, you are the well-wisher, and that's why you want to engage all your activities to for your satisfaction. No, 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 no. That is not the way. Then after enlightening them, we will be awakened and we will be able to understand our conditional position. Then only we will be able to engage our senses in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Thanks a lot. And just a small clarification, Mataji, if you don't mind, can I ask, like, the answer what you gave, Mataji, like when you serve your family members and other living, really indirectly serving Supreme Personality of Godhead. I didn't understand this point. Can you just like?
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, we are all expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Part and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So indirectly, we are serving Him only, actually, right? Through material energy. We are serving the material energy. Actually, see, all this body is made up of Panchabhutas, right? And Sushma Sarira is made of Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara. So these all are energies of the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are serving this body in the sense we are serving the material energy. So we are serving the material energy means what? We are indirectly serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, worshipping the demigods is like avidhi purvakam. That is also worshipping me only, but indirectly you are worshipping me. That's why it is not sanctioned by me. He says avidhi purvakam. Indirectly you are doing that. So that's why indirectly if you do, what happens? Indirectly, if you worship Supreme Personality of Godhead, what happens? You go to their demi. Suppose if you worship some devata, you will go to that planet only, not to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So if you directly worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yes, we'll go back to Goloka and no need to come back. Like that only, all this body is developed by the material energy, right? This body is the product of material energy. So you are serving this body means you are engaging yourself in the service of material energy, Maya. So that is also indirect service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but that service makes us suffer in this material world. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, thanks, Mataji. In one way, Mataji, it's not a service to Krishna. It's just service to the Maya to. Yes, indirectly serving Krishna. It's still like it's a question mark, but still, yes, I can understand. Like since we are part and parcel when it's serving. It will be there. Thank you, Mataji. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay. Jai, thank you so much, dear devotees, for your wonderful association and time. Again, we'll meet tomorrow with another wonderful session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari. Thank you, devotees.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Prabhu, you will end the session, right? Hare Krishna.